Spiritual atrophy or spiritual growth? We'll take a look at that subject here on Fellowship of the Father. Hi, I'm Lawrence, and let's go ahead and get into it. So, the reason why I brought this one up is actually I'm doing a series on the top 10 subjects that Christian folks struggle with, Christian men in particular. And this one is about spirituality. So, what is spirituality in a nutshell? It's often said, okay, if you want to be spiritual, you got to be a Christian. Well, the word spiritual just really pertains to things beyond the, the realm of the flesh, so spirit, right? So, oddly enough, you could be either a Christian or a Satan worshiper, and there's a spiritual component to that. But specifically, what we're going to talk about is your spiritual atrophy or your spiritual growth, and the reason why it's an important thing to take a look at. So, Jesus says, I'm the living water. So, how can we perceive that concept? Think about water and what happens when it sits still. It does nothing. Day 3 or 4, it starts to get a little weird. It starts to get a little wanky, right? So why is that? Because by its very nature, it's designed to move. It's designed to stay in motion. So as much as we want to be stagnant, as much as we want to take a break, as much as we want an easy life, it's not in our cards as human beings because we have this funny thing called gravity, or we have this funny thing called a job. We have all these rules that have been written by us, around us, by either God the Father or mankind, and we're being held to those rules. I'm walking in this parking lot, and if the people that own the parking lot wouldn't want me here, I would have to follow that rule, right? Not that I would love to do that, but just part of the deal. Um, so it is with you in your life. If you decide to do nothing and not address the problems, mosquitoes will start showing up, right? That stagnant water, that stagnant spirituality will start showing up and giving you evidence that something's not right yet. Something's not dialed in. So one of the key things that I think I've run across that has been very helpful for me is um, I get up and I move in the morning. I don't think for long periods of time. I don't just sit there think about how challenging it could be. I think if I get up and I get the blood running and then something hits me that I wasn't ready for, at least I'll be that much more ready for it. I'll be equipped to deal with it because I know that I've been equipped with many resources and my own personal strengths. I know the kingdom's within me. If God is with me, who could be against me, right? So I'm ready for the day, but it really helps to be on top of things, being vigilant, the blood's flowing. Same thing with spirituality. If you pick a spiritual low road, you could expect those kind of results. It's only going to bring that stagnant water and the mosquitoes and the moss and the catfish instead of bass. Everything that you do, or carps, how about that? Carp, right? So this week, think about that. Have I been being stagnant? Have I been restless, but I'm just sitting there? In my psyche, I know I should be moving, but I'm not moving. What's going on there? So let me give you a practical piece of advice. Right now, I'm currently realizing that we live not only in a world of cause and effect, but we also live in a world of supply and demand, and sometimes the demand comes ahead of the supply. So, for instance, when I get up in the morning. I'm 58 years old, by the way. When I get up in the morning, I feel pretty darn exhausted. So, unfortunately, where I'm at, I drink a cup of coffee and I try to get going. Well, I'm hearing you should have some water, living water, right? You should have some water and get that going. My wife does that. Um, Something I could work on. But then I get up. Once I get up, I start moving. Everything's fine. Then I'll get up and I'll go to the gym. I'll walk the dog. I'll do whatever it is I got to do. Then I go to the gym. So once I go to the gym, now the blood's moving. Um, Whether it's before or after the gym, I choose certain foods. Those foods either work or they don't work for the betterment of the whole system, that for my entire system. But those are my choices. So you are the living water. You have a choice. You are a participant. You are not, things are not happening to you, they're happening for you. And you're your greatest cheerleader. You're the one that pats yourself on the back. You're the athlete and the coach. You're the one getting it done as a man in America. So we could do this together, guys. So this is what I'd say this week. Do this. Have a nice breakfast. If you're the kind of person that can wait till lunch or they don't eat in the morning, I've seen these people. It's not me. Do that. But be conscious of your diet. And that's where I'm going next is not only have I been eating better, um, I've been working out, but I always know what I can change. Now I can eat even better than I've been eating. I've been cutting my calories. I've been eating pretty good. And now I'm going to get into more holistic foods, more healthy foods. So that's my goal this week. I'll be taking a look at that and getting more greens and less processed foods. So that's what my plan is, and I hope to hear from you guys in the comment section. Let me know what your plan is. And if you like the content, like, share, and subscribe. And this is Lawrence with Fellowship of the Father, and I will talk to you next time.